Coach, just another reminder that the WCC has some teams in it, and they're going to challenge you guys. What can you say about today's win?
It was hard fought. That was hard to do. They're really talented. They have some really talented individuals, and they run some good stuff to put them in position to score. And we weren't at our best. We did not shoot the ball very well. I thought we had some poor defensive execution. Luckily we made some big plays at big moments. But we didn't do all the things. I've been coming out here saying, wow, we really executed every bit of that. We forced them exactly into their weaknesses. And I don't think we did that a lot of the night. The goal wasn't to let Tillman drive to the basket and Val drive left-handed, and it wasn't to be behind Brooklyn McDavid or Kakala. And we did all of those things, from time to time. Not the whole game. But we were able to today, I think, overcome average defensive execution with some big offensive plays. Some great play by a few of our players, and just some toughness. We made things happen at the right times, and so it's awesome to have those kind of wins where we really have to work for it and you grit it out against a really good team.
You've mentioned so many times this season that your team just continues to find ways to win. Is it encouraging in that aspect that, you just said all those things that were unfortunately not on your guys' side, but to continue to be able to find ways to win? How encouraging is that?
Oh, absolutely. I tell them a lot. I think that, we did it today with defense, and this day we did it with rebounding, and this day we made all the baskets. And I think it's great to have a team. It's just like you can have a lot of players who can have the big nights, and I love that we have a bunch of people who you can rely on. I love that we have a bunch of different ways where we can be successful, because I think that you become easy to scout as soon as you don't. And then you kind of sometimes face some team dynamics that we don't have to face, because we have the players who are great defensively, and when we need the defense, we can go to them. And we have the players who are super strong, and we can go to them then. And we have all the different tools to be successful. And, I think that it's a real positive that we can continue to do that.
Jenn Wirth, of course, has the game that she has. We've seen her do it all season long, but to see her continue to progress and excel in her game, how nice is that?
Oh, it's great. I mean, she wanted the ball at important times. We were torn between posting Townie up, getting Katie a three, or throwing it to Jenn inside the paint, because all were good options for us there at the end. And she was ready for the defensive assignment. Like, she got 10 rebounds because she was going every time. And it got heated and it got intense, and Jenn didn't shy away from that at all, which is what we need. She's a huge leader on our team. She's one of our best players, and we need people who want to be in the big moment like that. There was a few years ago where we asked the team who wanted to take the last second shot, and everybody stood into that circle, And on this team, you're not sure. We have people in new roles, and I think that she and Townie and Katie and some of these guys are becoming players that really want that shot, and you're not going to throw it to somebody who doesn't want to make the play for the team when the team is needed, and she's certainly ready for that.
You just mentioned how intense and fiery and feisty this game was. Do you like that as a head coach, or how do you feel about it?
It's really stressful. I love my job, but I swear it's taking years off my life. It's fun, when you're trying to figure out strategy and what to call and what defense to run, and that's fun. I would rather beat teams by 30, but it's probably more character building for our team and for our coaching staff to be in close ones and have to remain calm and keep your composure. And I know that we were trying to remind ourselves of that throughout the game when we go in the timeouts. To we have a little edge, but let's make sure we're calm enough. Let's not get these guys more riled up than they are, because I know that it got chippy for a while, and so it's part of it. And I'd certainly rather be in this type of situation than down 30. So I guess we'll take it.
Jill didn't play much in that first half. Was that strictly fouls?
Yes. Yeah, no, we didn't think we were close, and so we didn't think we needed to risk having her out there pick up a third. We know how important she is to our team, and we figured we were going to need her in the second half.
The defense ended up pushing a lot of turnovers on you guys. How frustrating was that?
Well, I think some of them came in more of them came in the first half and the second half because we were just going too fast. I think that we were, the pressure, and we got going too fast in transition. We wanted to push, which is part of what we do, but we had said push without being frazzled. And I think that we got frazzled in transition. We needed to push while under control and kind of running to the spots that we practice every day. And once we started doing that, we were able to get some transition without turning the ball over. But they're a good defensive team, and they're really aggressive. So we have to be a little bit more prepared for the type of pressure that they put on.
The last 3 games, you guys have been so dominant. So to have a game like today where it is close and intense, How nice is that, especially going on the road again this next week?
Well, it's situations. We simulate them in practice, and you can't do it justice, because really in practice, if we miss the free throw or we make the wrong pass or the wrong read, we don't have anything to lose. But here, it's real, and so it's great practice for us. The road is hard. To think that this kind of game happened here at home, just think of how hard it's going to be when we get to Stockton next time, or down in Santa Clara this week and San Francisco. It's always harder on the road. So, I'm happy, especially given the outcomes. I'm happy for the way things went in all avenues, because we had to work when we had a lead, we had to work when we were down, we had to maintain a lead, gain it back, make big free throws down the stretch. So those things are great, very valuable.
What can you say about this game and why it was so different with what Pacific was able to do against you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we're never safe, and obviously we had a few people in foul trouble, which I think kind of set us back a little bit or threw us off, but we had some people come off the bench and step up, and we needed them to do that. But yeah, it just goes to show that everybody wants to beat us. I feel like we've had this conversation a lot, but yeah, everyone wants to beat us, and everybody really wants to have our number. We've got a target on our back, and so we're never safe, and we always got to start off strong.
When it comes to that, would you rather have a game like today where it challenges you guys and it's fiery, or win by 30 points like Coach said?
I can't say we'd always want one like this, but considering it was an alumni game and we had a lot of our alumni back and watching, I'm sure it was exciting and fun. I think we learn a lot of lessons from games like this, and so it's good every once in a while to mix it in, but it's not always what we want, for sure.
What do you think the biggest lesson was from today specifically?
I mean, just knowing that everybody has a role and everybody needs to find that role, and it can change from game to game, but we need people to step up no matter what.
Coach said you really wanted the ball today, and I could tell you really did. 24 points, and you guys needed every one of them.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of plays that we ran where I was just kind of wide open. I have my teammates to thank for that. They were able to find me, so I can't take all the credit for that by any means. But yeah, I'm just really proud. It was a good team game, and yeah, I was a leading scorer, but it doesn't mean that my teammates didn't do their jobs really well.
Pacific defense was pretty tough on you guys today. How'd you adjust, and how frustrating was that?
Yeah, I mean, once we run a play, we have to look and see what they've done and kind of try and attack that the next time down. And so just adjusting was a big deal for us in timeouts, looking at what they're doing and trying to make adjustments of us running offense. So, and they're a good team. I mean, we were talking about it in the locker room. They might be the next best team, even if you're not considering their record. But they're a good team, and we always have good games against them.
For you, I know this offseason you worked so hard, especially after last year with the finger and all of that. But to see it, I know you're so humble, so which is great. But to see it continue to pay off for you and to see you just continue to excel, what's that been like for you personally?
It's been awesome. I feel like the biggest thing is just like finding that starting role. My sister and I have been wanting to do that together for a long time, and so that's a big deal for me, is finally getting to be in that role with her. But I mean, points aren't the biggest tell of how good you are as a player and what you can do to help your team. I mean, obviously it's nice to have good games like that and have high scoring points, but it's not how you are as a player and what you can do. But I mean, coming back from my finger, it's been nice to just be out there with my team and have success on the court.
These last 3 games, you guys have been so dominant. To have a game like this where it is challenging and a little closer, how nice is that, especially going on the road again next week?
Yeah, it's been nice to be home, especially without school and everything. We're just kind of focusing on basketball, so that's been nice. And then we start school up next week, and we're back on the road. We just got to keep that same focus no matter where we are.
We are almost in the middle of January, and between you and the men's program, there's only 2 losses. What is it like to be in this building, to be around them and you guys, and just creating this true legacy within the programs?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's humbling, especially, like I said, having the alumni back. There's people from such a long time ago who basketball was different back then. It was half court. And so just like being a part of what it is today is super humbling, and it's super fun. I mean, our fans are awesome. They make this place an awesome place to play, and we owe it all to them.
For this team, you guys continue to find ways to win, and that's kind of been the theme throughout this season for you guys. How encouraging is it to continue to win in different ways?
I mean, it just shows how strong we are as a team, and when we are put in difficult situations, we know how to come out of it together. And in every huddle and every timeout, we came together and just our goal was just to focus on the next play and focus on what we need to do now and not later or what happened. And so I think getting put in those situations is what's making us stronger as a team and helping us overcome future situations that will come into the next few games if they come.
Would you rather have a game like this or beat teams by 30 points? Because Coach Fortier told us, I just want to win by 30 points every time.
I mean, it would be nice and it would be easy to win by 30, but I think that games like these really test us and they do really help us and bring us together even closer, like I said, as a team, and it makes us stronger. I mean, winning by 30 feels awesome, but also winning games like this feels great too, and it just kind of shows what we need to work on and what we did together as a team that helped us overcome those challenges that we faced.
When it comes to this game, what do you feel like the biggest lesson is that you guys can carry on with you?
I think the big thing we could learn is just kind of staying focused. I mean, there were a few things we had goals set for defense, and we struggled on a few things, but we came together as a team and we said, hey, we got to focus on our goals, we got to focus on what we set at the beginning of this game, and I think when we came together at the end of the game, we did those things, and I think just kind of having that throughout the game is what is a big thing that we came out of it.
Jenn, you've seen what she's done all season long, but then today she has a career high in points, a double-double. What's it like being a teammate with her, knowing that she's gunning all the time, she wants the ball?
Oh, I mean, she's a phenomenal player. I mean, she's one of the players I can know who just wants to fight, and she'll fight till the end, and she plays tough and strong, and just like all the other girls, like we all want to win, and so she knows as a team we come together, we focus on what we need to do, we run our offense, we execute, and she plays a big role in that, and she's such a great leader on the court.
What was the toughest part of this game to play? I mean, they came in pretty hot with their defense.
I think just kind of their offense. I mean, they're physical, especially when they play defense on us, and I think the hardest part for us that we had to do is to overcome that and focus on what we do best as a team and what we can do now and not what we did in the past, and so I think just focusing on that is what really got us through.
Their defense kind of forced a lot of turnovers in the first half. Was that kind of frustrating with the team going into the locker room?
I think we kind of expected them being a physical team coming into the game, and then at halftime, Lisa talked about just kind of focusing on our defense, focusing on being up the line, helping side, not leaving our girl. Just, I think coming into our second half was one of our goals was our offense to execute our with every play and listening to what we came in as a huddle, as a team, and to execute.
And they hit those last few plays in the last 3 minutes that kind of put you ahead about 5. That kind of helped.
Yeah, I mean those were big shots, and those were the plays that we had to execute and we had to get done, and we needed those big time, and that's when our focus really came into play.
Prior to this game, the last 3 WCC games, you guys have been very dominant. So you mentioned it's nice to have a challenge, nice to have a test. How important is that, especially as you go back on the road now next week?
I mean, I know Lisa said this many times. We have that target on our back, and having games like this it does test us. And now that we're going to go on the road, we just have to come into practice next week and get our minds ready and set that it's going to be another fight. It's going to be another game that we have to overcome, and we don't know what's going to happen, but we have to play together as a team like we did today.
It's a really special time at the school right now between you and the men. You guys have 2 losses between the two of you. It's almost the middle of January. What's it like to be a part of this school and the men's team and you guys? It's becoming quite repetitive that this keeps happening every year, and you guys are creating something really special here.
I mean, it feels great. I mean, it shows how well we work together, how great our program is, and I'm very thankful that I get to be part of it, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm so excited to see where the rest of the season goes and be with this team and the coaches and the community. Like, we get a lot of support from the fans, and that really what helps us a lot, that drives us, and so I'm just excited about where we're at.